Hello and welcome to this episode of Talking Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at a set of fully trimmed seats for the Triumph TR6. Now, as most of you will be aware, there are 5 different seats used on the TR6s. These are the European spec, or rather non-American market spec, 1970 to 1972 era approximately. They were the cars that basically had the chassis number CP above 50,000. They're reclining with no headrests. Those of you familiar with my YouTube channel, you'll know that we've already done a video featuring these seats fully trimmed up. That video was in leather and featured customs colours, whereas this is black vinyl, so a lot more akin to how they left the factory. So I thought I'd do a quick video. So obviously if you've seen that other video, there might be a bit of cross information on it, but it's still worth staying tuned. Right, let's dive on in. Yeah, so black vinyl, got the correct grain finish on the vinyl, and it has the diamond embossed HF weld pattern on the pleats, as you can see there. That is only applicable to vinyl Ambla seats. If the seats left in leather or leather face, they did not have that pattern, they were plain. Customer has sent us his frames. We've replaced the foams, the diaphragms, the webbings, made new seat covers, fully trimmed them up as so. We've actually got an original seat here, as you can see here, although a bit worse for wear, as we all are after around 60 odd years. But yeah, you can see the main principle of it. It's a bit of a unique seat, this one, all related to the backrest pleated panel here. Because effectively it was a flap that curved away. If I push this here, ooh, there we are, good old foams falling all apart. But yeah, it had this wing effect to it, as you can see here. Effectively means you can put your hands down the left and right sides. So it is an odd one to trim, that you can see there. Now these have actually been connected in on the back there. I imagine they were originally as well, but they've probably come away slightly. So it does make it quite tricky to trim around the left and right edges there. Like I say, very odd design, one that Triumph did not adopt for long, as they quickly changed the seat design. So just bear that in mind. A lot of people get confused when we send the seat covers out, because you've got this kind of armed pleated panel, or rather winged pleated panel, and people get rather confused, but that is how they were done originally. You then had a backboard which trimmed on the back, so basically that was the last thing to go on there, and they clipped in around the side, as you can see there. Then we tilt that there. You had obviously the mechanisms here. These mechanisms aren't actually on the trim seats here, the customer has them at his end, but this flap here was clamped underneath that. So on our ones here, this flap is actually loose at the moment, but when everything's said and done in the car, that will get clamped underneath there when the mechanisms are put on. You also had wooden panels inside these sort of armed pockets here, which were all to do with the recliner mechanism here. So like I say, not the most straightforward of seats in certain regards. I wouldn't say overly complicated, but just something to get your head around. So we always recommend, if you've got your old seats, then always try and take lots of photos and videos of those before you start untrimming, so that you have a good reference point there. Also, something worth noting here is the passenger seat had this little stud on it, which was to the tonneau flap. Again, we haven't actually included that on these seats here because we're not sure whether the car is going to be a left-hand drive or right-hand drive car, but we are supplying the clip loose with the package so that the customer can put that in. The framework's very easy to find on that there. So yeah, I think that about covers it. But yeah, thought I'd do a quick video just to show you how they left the factory and how our covers fit to replicate that element of how they left the factory. Very accurate. We've been using the same patterns for many years. As you can see, we know how they're trimmed as well. We know the tricks of the trade. So if you or your professional trimmer is unsure, we always recommend you contact us first. Don't go off piste and start changing stuff. We've seen some horror stories in the past of that. It's always best to check with us first. We tend to know what we're talking about with these things. But yeah, I hope you found the video useful and informative. Please remember to like, subscribe, and of course comment if you have anything to say or feedback to us, or have any questions. And please share with other classic car enthusiasts, and be sure to tune in next time. See ya.